Does anybody know the history of some of the plagues? Bubonic plague, scarlet fever, some of these diseases that killed so many people. Medicine says they're eradicated because of the introduction of vaccines. That's what medicine claims. Medicine claims responsibility for that. Anyone know anything about this? Does that sound reasonable to you? No. I mean, that's their story. It's what they want you to believe. First of all, I don't know if they're still there. It used to be if you could go to the World Health Organization's website, and there were graphs of these diseases and how they were eradicated. And there's a slope, there's a line showing how they went from whatever the prevalence was down to 0. And somewhere about a third or a fourth of the way down that line, that's the introduction of vaccines. What does that tell you?
It wasn't the vaccines that started the trend?
The disease was being eradicated at the exact same rate before the vaccines were ever introduced. They had nothing to do with it. Why did they disappear? There are four primary things that affected these diseases. Number one, the introduction of closed sewage systems, and that's what we're talking about here. Again, without a bladder, we wake up in our own urine every day. Okay? Sound like fun to anybody? No. Okay? In London, in the 1700s, there were no sewage systems. Big city, right? Old city. All the European cities. So people threw their waste, they peed and pooped into buckets and threw them on the street. People were constantly coming into contact with this stuff. That's one of the reasons for disease prevalence. Closed sewage systems. Garbage collection. They used to throw their garbage in alleys, etc. What happened? What do you think happens if you throw human garbage from the kitchen and other places into the streets? Rats. And rats carry the diseases. As soon as they had garbage collection that hauled the stuff away from the population, far less issue. Zoning laws came into place. Zoning laws. Why were they important? People in the Industrial Revolution, people who worked in factories were essentially indentured servants. They didn't get paid enough money to have a home. They actually lived in the factory. They had rooms in the factory where they lived. So they're living in a toxic industrial setting. And laws were passed that said, you know what? You can't do this. You can't house people in these settings. And that's why zoning laws came into place. Here's an interesting fact. Most cities in North America, east of the Mississippi River, if you're lost in a city and don't know where to go, in most cities, if you head northwest, you get to the better part of town. Why? Because winds and rivers, pollution, flow southeast in most of the east coast of the U.S. and the other direction on the west coast. So most cities in North America on the east coast, northwest is going to be the nicest part of town.
That is so true.
That's just how it works, okay? Because you're upstream from all the garbage. So that's where the people want to live. People that have money want to be there. Okay, if you're lost, just head northwest. You'll probably be safe. Okay, safer in most cases. Okay, so zoning laws change things. And the fourth one was something Chase mentioned as well, and that was hand washing. Believe it or not, in the last 20 years, the UN has still been involved in convincing doctors in some countries to wash their hands before they operate. Something that in the West is now taken for granted. There are still places in the world where they don't routinely do that. Now, what used to be true 150, 200 years ago, I mean, Germany has been a wealthy country for a long time. 100 years ago in Germany, 50% of infants didn't survive infancy. 50%. One of the reasons why? Very simple. The same doctors who were delivering babies were also performing autopsies. They'd be downstairs in the morgue, usually in the basement of the building. They'd be dissecting dead bodies with their bare hands. Latex gloves hadn't been invented yet. They didn't wash their hands, they didn't sterilize anything. They went upstairs and delivered a baby, introducing all kinds of nasty bacteria into the mother and to the baby. And so babies and mothers died at alarming rates. Simply washing their hands made a huge difference. I mean, I guess we can kind of say that's medicine, but that's kind of common sense. And medicine doesn't have a lot to do with common sense. Hi, enjoying my videos? If you'd like to learn much more, check out the Academy for Vibrant Living, where our Vibrant Health course will teach you everything you need to know to take your health to an amazing new level. And if you'd like to turn your passion for health into a lucrative career, check out the Health Coaching course, where you can become a professional, certified health coach and help as many people as possible see amazing results.